locked in here for On, provide a little bit more extra hard engage. I think overall BLG have set themselves up with a really nice composition that, they can roam around the map a little bit with this mid jungle and get the side lanes ahead, which will allow them to win once we get into these mid-game fights.
This is a very standard this meta. You're going to be able to head straight over towards those ones. Can there be any potential steal? Weibo would love to be able to grab even one of them right now.
Or will it just be an even trade? They're sending up Era as a scout right now to start things out. Well, 2 of the grubs have been secured, but it looks like BLG actually okay with giving up all of them. Or here comes Hero's entrance in from Zhao, who had knocks up 2. Wei with a crescent guard already, though it knocks a bunch of people away. He flashes down with the side. Impale goes on a 2. Come out with the pop blossom. That's first blood going over to Weibo Gaming. They get themselves a second with Bin dropping. But now, Elk's able to free fire. Knight's coming in with the teleport as well. The big carries for BLG trying to do some work to come back here in this team fight. Breathe very low. He flashes away here from the continued Q. And the piercing arrows dodged as well. On the other side of things, it's going to be On in trouble as Tien chases him down. The rock doesn't connect, but the Prey Seeker will. 3-1 in favor of Weibo.
Oh, that full fight from Weibo was a complete mess, but they just decide, hey, we could go in. They managed to grab themselves that final grub. Not quite. Now they're going to be able to grab themselves that final grub and then just go flying in. It all starts with that public execution for Breathe. I really hope that we get to see a replay of that fight because it's the wombo combo we were hoping for at 13 minutes into the game. So before any of the real item breakpoints come through, before you actually deal that much damage, and that's the real issue that you run into as Weibo. There's multiple moments in that fight where they kind of run out of damage and have to turn around, run away, wait for some cooldowns to reapply. Here we go. So, initial, really well played to be able to just grab up an opponent right there with that public execution. It's very easy to miss that straight up, straight into the Galio ulti and straight into the Pop Blossom right here out of Erha. The first 2 kills are easy enough, but it's at this point where you've kind of blown everything and you are running a little bit out of damage. Elk is dealing some decent damage. Knight nearly takes Breathe out as well, but because you managed to find that initial bit of engage, take out the top and jungle of your opponents, well, there isn't really too much more to do. That was a very nice snipe to cap off the fight.
And so, it's 1 extra grub going over to Weibo, plus that team fight that we just watched, obviously. 2 of those 3 kills. Going over to Light on this Kaista, that's big because of what we have already said. Weibo's composition desperately needs Light to get ahead.
Yeah.
They won't have any chance of winning this one. As for BLG, Elk gets a couple of kills, or Elk gets a kill. It's not bad, but you wish it was a little bit more than that because they got so close to actually turning that one around.
Yeah, absolutely. They were so nearly there. And this is a team composition that also doesn't particularly spike at that point. Wei was in a strong spot, but just got 1 tapped to begin the fight off. On actually jumped straight over the wall to get Tian.
They just immediately knew it was Erha.
To get Erha,
and that means that Wei will take him down. So the support here for Weibo Gaming out of the picture here. Light maybe going a little bit too forward as well. Jumps straight into the audacious charge of Wei. 3-man impale from Tian. Combined with the public execution. And that's just going to wipe BLG off the face of the map. Wei stuck in a 1v4 to try to pick up 1 kill in response, but will not be able to find it. A double kill in for Light. And Weibo with 2 massive skirmishes in a row.
Hey, you're going to be more than happy with just picking up that kill onto Erha. And despite the fact that, yeah, he dies, everything after that goes Weibo's way. We talked about it, right? This is a composition that really needed to get ahead early, needed the damage to be able to come through, otherwise it just does not work out. In this situation, yeah, On flashing over the wall as well means that there's no way to get back out of this one. There's no way to get away from the impale that comes on through. And this is gorgeous right here from Tian. Exactly what we have been asking for from these scans. Flash, impale, 3 members dragged in. Bin and Wei, they recognize that there's really no way they should be stepping up here. Unfortunately, Wei does also get caught on the backside of this fight. That means that the Drake is 100% going to go over to Weibo. And BLG's jungle struggles continue.
Yeah, just a little bit over-aggressive there. It looked like originally a nice pick, but they saw Tian on a ward. They knew that reinforcements would have been on the way. Speaking of reinforcements, now Bin could be in some trouble here in the mid lane. Gets hit up by the Tangle Barb, just gets one shot before he can do anything here. Already 8-2 in terms of kill score towards Weibo Gaming. It looks like BLG will get one back as Tian does fall, shut down, going the way of Elk. But right now, Weibo in massive control of this game. They're up 3,000 gold. They have 5 kills on Light and are pushing on both side lanes at the same time.
Exactly, and because of that, it feels like nobody from BLG knows exactly where to go. With the enemy jungler down, you'd think maybe they're going to be able to head up towards the top side of the map and grab that Rift Herald, but just not going to be the case at the moment. This is a composition from BLG that spikes pretty hard at this 2-item point, but that's the point at which Weibo Gaming are absolutely online. And right now, with them in treating them so well at the moment, they do at least have Darkness to play around. Maybe as Weibo, you just concede this one. You're not particularly worried about giving over this Herald.
They are. Teleport comes in. It's going to be Xiao joining the fight. Immediately they try to turn their attention towards Tian as he's the one in most danger of a steal. Arrow's Pop Blossom only finds one with the public execution from Breathe. It finds a priority target, and Elk's already out of the picture. Now it's Wei getting knocked into the wall by the Ixtal's impact. The second kill finds the way of Light. And now it's the rest of BLG on the run. The Herald not even going in favor of BLG at the end of the day. It's Weibo picking up that and 2 more kills. Knight trying to save something here by using the Weaver's Wall to get on over here. But the priority still remains much on Weibo's side.
Very much so, and with this Rift Herald available, the 4 grubs too, this mid lane tower takes a ton of damage. Not quite going to go down on this initial push. Knight's way. And unfortunately, in this sort of game where BLG have got themselves on, who's hopefully that tanky frontline, and gets the flash out of Elk right there. Breathe on point with these, and Wei hopefully strong enough to be able to go in and be a bit of that frontline too. If that's not the case, if Wei isn't healing enough once he's in and amongst members, don't take that. What? Huh?
Flashes forward. They're looking for Erha. Depth charge on to Breathe. The Chain of Corruption has come out. Era is very low. Wei dashing forward again, but there's no reinforcement for the rest of BLG. Bin is just way too late. He gets stunned in the wall with the Ixtal's impact, and now he's isolated. It's a double kill in for Breathe. Taunt from Xiao, who lands on a 2. BLG are just going in 1 by 1 and getting annihilated by Weibo. Already a 4 for 1 as only Era has fallen. The mid lane tier 1 will drop, and Weibo dominating this first game.
They're going to be able to pull back and grab themselves this Drake as well. Hextech Drake, such a strong one to be able to grab as an individual or as a soul. Weibo, complete and utter control of this game.
Part of me is like saying that Weibo's doing good, but the other part of me is wondering why BLG are looking for these sorts of engages, and now Wei's gonna get caught out again. He gets taunted up by Xiaohu and taken down. That is sure to be the Otacon, if not more, if Weibo don't continue to overextend. Light gets hit up by the depth charge, flashes straight into the hook of On. Pyrotechnics comes out, but the re-engage and the damage is just too big on Weibo's side. Breeze picking up the solo kill onto Elk, and now Tian dashing forward and finding another knock-up here on up in. Everybody on BLG's continuing to drop. Knight the lone survivor here, but he's stuck underneath his inhibitor tower as Weibo are still 5 strong.
Yeah, they've got a wave pushing in this top lane as well, so this top lane tier 2 tower very likely to fall right here. They don't even have the ability to peel back to go get the Baron because it isn't up for another 2 minutes. Instead, just going to be the Atachan, the prize right here for Weibo on top of the kills they were able to grab. And why they need a shake-up somewhere, whether it's just through strategy or through moving personnel around. Something has to change. BLG, they've got higher aspirations than being middle of the pack here in the LPL. Knight, don't step up here, has to insta-flash away. That's a big cooldown to now be away. Wei also taking massive damage. Here goes Tian.
Yeah, they have been voracious Otacon here, so they can go very aggressive without much risk at all. Tian, very low HP, but already Light picks up that first kill onto On. Already 1 revive here, but here comes the killer racing forward from Light. Picks himself up a double kill, and potentially looking for more. The blast cone out will send everybody on Weibo back out to safety, and they will be able to head back to base after picking up 2 kills for free.
Okay, Erha also going to be able to survive. It's a bit of an aggressive play there. BLG stepping up into their jungle, but it's no longer theirs to walk through uncontested. Weibo just complete control in this game right now. And the other thing I would really like to call out for making this interesting composition work is the build path that we're seeing right here out of Breathe. Usually, you see the Eclipse on the Ambessa, which gives you some extra survivability, but not quite as much damage. No, this is full aggression right here. Shojin, Yomu's, and then the Edge of Night has just been completed for that extra little bit of survivability, but also a ton of damage too. And I think this is what you really needed. You needed a threat from another angle, because it otherwise was very much just going to be the Kai'Sa. Light has played this one out excellent, but so has Breathe. He's been on point with these ultis. Every time he's either landing it or he's getting a flash out of his opponents.
definitely see the Cyclosword as part of this build as well, but it's like...
Are we gonna get there?
Maybe next item. Maybe that's 4 tier. But, I mean, it's 20 to 4. Part of me is like, maybe he just decided to build lethality because he realized the game was over. I don't know.
He was going towards this pretty early on, although that would be funny too, to be like, yeah, I don't need extra survivability. I mean, you're in a composition, right, where you've got yourself a Skarner and a Galio. You don't have to be the survivability option. You don't need to be the tank here. You can go and be a main damage threat. 4-0-10, an incredibly impressive performance at this point. Baron has now finally joined us on the Rift. BLG once again stepping up, but they need to be careful. They really don't own this jungle at the moment. And Weibo, they can either start this one up and finish it, or they can peel off and go look for a fight. They've been loving the team fight so far.
Hey, you're up 9,000 gold. Might as well just try to force a fight, force BLG to come towards you, because it's going to go relatively well. You don't just completely screw things up. Baron's at half HP. Tien, he's got to make sure he lands that final smite, or at least push way away from the pit to make sure there's no chance at a steal. The fight's going to begin here immediately before the Baron gets really taken low. Immediately, Bin is taken down. Wei pops the Crescent Guard. Light's very low HP with the Pop Blossom from Era, doing a lot of work. Knight finally gets one back. This could be BLG's opportunity here. The Impale lands onto just one, and Weibo still going to take control here of this team fight. Elk going to just be continuously caught out, taken down here by Light. Only Knight surviving. He'll pick up a 1k shutdown, but that's all he will get as an ace gets picked up for Weibo Gaming once again.
The death timers are getting pretty long at this point, but I don't think the push is going to come through. The main damage threats have gone down right here for Weibo. It was a slightly better fight for BLG overall, but at this point they're so far behind, the wallet diff beginning to come through. They just lose it right now. The dragon has now spawned. This is practically going to be do or die here for BLG.
Yeah, they're going to have to find the dream fight that they have yet to open up with. On really gets caught out here by a bit of a death rush. No vision in this area of the map right now for BLG. They're going to have to go in blind. Initially finding the hook on a Xiaohu, but On could be in some trouble afterwards. Breathe on the flank. Looking maybe for the public execution, but BLG are stacked up as 5 and making sure that nobody can go and get singled out. Era going to go forward to Pop Blossom. The Dragon is secured by Tien. That's a Hextech Soul going over to Weibo. They already have taken down Wei, and now could be looking for more. On still very low on HP. The Excel's impact, finding Knight. There's the hero's entrance to try to respond here. Knight will go down. Light finds the kill. Bin the next to follow. Already 3 kills picked up, make it 4. And Elk may soon to be the final nail in the coffin here for Bilibili Gaming. He gets hit up by the Tangle Barbs. Light will claim the kill and go golden for a little bit extra swag. 30-6 is the scoreline right now for Weibo Gaming as they'll push right down mid and try to take control of game number 1.
This is going to be a clean ace right here for Weibo. They've just been better in the team fights. They've been better overall than BLG. And with 20 seconds until anybody with real wave clear is back up and available, this will be game number 1. Weibo, they want to move beyond being even right now. They want to take control of that 5th spot right now in Group Ascent. They want to send BLG down.
Well, but Hatting and the KDAs, one more kill over to Tien. And there it is, 31-6.